Some people can turn literally anything into gossip. You mention a coworker, and suddenly, they know their entire relationship history. You say someone got promoted, and they immediately have a theory about why that person didn't deserve it. You casually mention a friend, and somehow 5 minutes later, you're hearing a story you never even asked for. And here's the strange part, they don't seem to get tired of it. There's always another story, another secret, another person to talk about. So why do some people seem unable to stop talking about other people's lives? Is it insecurity, boredom, or is gossip actually doing something to the brain that makes people want to keep coming back? Here's the truth. Gossip isn't as simple as saying, bad people talk about others. Humans have always been interested in what other people are doing. We naturally pay attention to relationships, conflicts, secrets, and changes within our social groups. In the past, knowing who was trustworthy or unreliable could actually be useful information for surviving within a community. But modern gossip usually isn't about survival. It's about the feeling it creates. Imagine two people who barely know each other. Then one leans in and says, "Don't tell anyone I told you this." Suddenly, there's a secret between them. That secret can create a sense of closeness. It feels exclusive, almost like saying, "You're one of the people I trust with this." And that feeling can make gossip surprisingly rewarding. But there's another reward, attention. Which sounds more interesting. Sarah had a normal day at work. Or, did you hear what Sarah did today? Most people will choose the second one. That's because our brains naturally pay more attention to emotionally significant information, especially negative information. Conflict, betrayal, embarrassment, secrets, and scandals immediately grab our attention. So when someone says, "Wait until you hear what happened," your brain becomes curious. You want to know what happened next. And when the person telling the story gets a reaction, people laugh, ask questions, or become curious. Their brain learns something important. Gossip works. This is how gossip can become a habit. The trigger might be boredom, awkwardness, or wanting attention. The behavior is gossip, and the reward is the reaction that follows. The more often this cycle repeats, the more automatic it becomes. Eventually, someone doesn't even need a reason. A person's name comes up and the gossip starts. But this doesn't mean everyone who gossips is insecure. Some people are simply curious. Some use gossip as a way to connect with friends. Some are bored, and some are genuinely interested in other people's lives. But for certain people, gossip can also be connected to how they feel about themselves. Think about social comparison. We constantly compare our careers, relationships, appearance, and achievements with other people. And sometimes, seeing someone else succeed can make us question our own position. That's when gossip can become a way to make someone else's success feel less threatening. She only got the promotion because she knows the manager. He's not actually that talented. The point isn't always to discover the truth. Sometimes, it's simply to feel better about ourselves. But that feeling doesn't last. So another comparison is needed. Another person, another story, and the cycle continues. There, also a hidden cost to constant gossip. Trust. Think about someone who constantly tells you other people's secrets. At first, you might feel special. You might think, they trust me. But eventually, another thought appears. If they're comfortable telling me everyone else's secrets, what are they telling other people about me? And suddenly, the person who seemed interesting becomes someone you need to be careful around. That quote's the irony of gossip. It can create temporary closeness while quietly destroying long-term trust. People may enjoy talking to you. They may laugh with you. They may even come to you for information. But that doesn't necessarily mean they trust you with their own secrets. So why can't some people stop gossiping? There isn't one answer. For some, it's curiosity. For others, it's boredom. For some, it's a way to connect. And for others, it's attention, excitement, validation, or social comparison. Sometimes, it's simply a habit that became so normal, they stopped noticing it. But maybe the most interesting part is this. Gossip isn't always really about the person being talked about. Sometimes, it's about the feeling the conversation creates for the person telling it. The feeling of being included. The feeling of knowing something others don't. The feeling of being heard. The feeling of being important. And sometimes, the feeling of being a little better than someone else. So, the next time you hear gossip, don't immediately judge the person or automatically join in. Just pause for a moment and ask yourself one simple question: what am I getting from this conversation? Because the answer might tell you more about yourself than the gossip ever could.